Imagine being the most famous secret agent on the planet and walking away like it means nothing. That's what Daniel Craig just did. After 15 years as James Bond, 5 blockbuster movies, and billions earned for the franchise, Craig says he doesn't care who replaces him, not even a little. But why would the man who defined 007 for an entire generation suddenly shrug off the legacy? What does he know that the rest of us don't? Because behind the calm smile and British cool, there's a story that twists deeper than you think. Insiders say the Bond producers are panicking. Hollywood whispers claim the next 007 might change the entire image of the character forever. And Craig's "I don't care" attitude? It might be his final act of rebellion against the machine that made him a legend. But here's the thing, his words have triggered chaos across the industry. Fans are divided, actors are nervous, and the producers, they're walking a tightrope between tradition and reinvention. So what really happened behind those quiet interviews and polite smiles? Why did Daniel Craig sound so indifferent about a role that made him an icon? Let me show you exactly how this happened. To understand Daniel Craig's attitude, we have to rewind. The year is 2005. James Bond had lost his spark. Pierce Brosnan's Die Another Day was a hit financially, but fans called it over the top, too many gadgets, too little grit. The Bond franchise, once the gold standard of spy cinema, was starting to feel like a parody of itself. Enter Daniel Craig, blonde, gritty, not your typical suave gentleman spy. When he was first announced, tabloids went wild. James Blonde? Too rough for Bond, critics sneered. But then Casino Royale hit theaters in 2006, and everything changed. Craig's Bond bled, broke bones, fell in love, and even cried. For the first time, the world saw 007 as human. The film rebooted the entire franchise, turning it from dated fantasy into brutal realism, and audiences loved it. Craig wasn't just playing Bond, he was Bond for a new age. Over the next decade, he built an empire of his own. Skyfall broke records, becoming the first Bond film to cross $1 billion worldwide. Critics praised his emotional range, and fans embraced the darker, more conflicted Bond. But beneath his success, Craig was struggling. In interviews, he called filming grueling. After Spectre, he famously said he'd rather slash his wrists than play Bond again. That single quote spread everywhere. It shocked fans and infuriated producers, but it also told the truth. Craig was done being the world's favorite spy. Still, the money and the pressure brought him back for No Time to Die, his farewell film. And when it finally released, it gave Bond something no one expected: closure. The first time in the franchise's history that James Bond died. It was bold, emotional, and final. Now, as the producers Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson hunt for the next Bond, Craig has washed his hands of it. He's polite, sure, but when asked about who should take over, his answer is simple: I don't care. Daniel Craig's cold response wasn't apathy, it was strategy. Sources close to the production say Craig has always been hyper-aware of how his words shape the Bond brand. Every sentence he gives to the press is measured, and this one, more than any, was designed to send a message. See, for decades, the Bond mantle has been treated like a royal crown. When Sean Connery stepped down, the world obsessed over who'd wear the tux next. When Brosnan left, the same frenzy returned. The casting of Bond isn't just a movie announcement, it's global news. Craig's "I don't care" shattered that tradition. By refusing to play along, he flipped the spotlight back on the franchise itself. It's as if he's saying, stop worshiping the actor, focus on the story. That's a power move and a quiet critique of how the Bond machine chews up and replaces its stars. And maybe deep down, Craig knows something the fans don't. The next Bond might not even look, sound, or act like the one we've known for 60 years. There's talk that the next 007 could be younger, darker, or even female. Barbara Broccoli herself hinted at a reinvention of the character. She told reporters that the next Bond won't be a copy of Craig, they're building something entirely new. This means Craig's era was the bridge between the old and the unknown. He doesn't care who plays Bond next because his job was never about passing the torch. It was about burning the blueprint. Here's the twist: Daniel Craig's version of Bond changed Hollywood itself, not just the franchise. Before Casino Royale, spy films were flashy fantasies. After Craig, everything turned raw and personal. Think about Jason Bourne, Mission Impossible, Fallout, even John Wick. All of them leaned into the same grounded, emotional tone that Bond 2006 introduced. Craig's influence reshaped the genre, and now that shadow is what's scaring the producers. How do you follow perfection? Rumors? This is all for today. Comment down your thoughts and subscribe for second part.